I chose to come to USC for my PhD because of the reputation of the entire university, first of all, but in particular for the School of Library and Information Science. It was a program I was interested in. I actually explored a couple of other places to do my PhD, and I particularly wanted one in library and information science and not in curriculum instruction, for example. I'm a school librarian by background, and so I wanted that emphasis on library and information science. So I'm from North Carolina, so I considered going to that other Carolina place, but they are not really about school libraries, and so I wanted to come to a place where school libraries was a focus of the program. I've learned a lot of things, but really what I've learned is that it's all about community. It's about being part of an academic community. It's about being part of a larger community. And the School of Library and Information Science in particular is very much focused on community impact, on being active in the community. And you can see that in its initiatives. You can see it when they get involved with helping school libraries and public libraries recover from the flooding. You can see it in Cocky's Reading Express and the involvement in literacy efforts in the state. But the school itself is very much about community focus. The greatest impact on my studies comes from Dr. Karen Gavigan. Dr. Gavigan is someone actually I knew before I came to South Carolina, and she's one of the reasons why I came to this program. I've known her, she's from North Carolina. She and I were both involved in the North Carolina School Library Association there, and she's been my mentor here. And so she really has given me an inside look at what life as an academic is, and really how important it is for us to be involved both in research and then working with school librarians across the state. Within the program itself, I think I'm most proud of working with other students, and I've taught several classes, and I've really enjoyed doing that. I've taught an undergraduate course, Information Literacy and Technologies, and that's offered for any student on campus, and that's really a fun class to be involved with. I've also taught graduate level courses, young adult literature and children's literature. But the other thing is that I've represented South Carolina at the national level. I've presented at National School Library Conferences and at the National Library Association Conference. And so it's been really a privilege to represent South Carolina at those places. I think the most important thing to be told about the School of Library and Information Science is that the faculty and staff really care about the students. They want you to be successful, not just academically, but also personally and professionally. And I'll give you a great example of that. The second semester I was in the PhD program, I was actually injured at work. I was still working full-time in a school, and I got hurt, and I was wheelchair bound for 3 months. And I could not come to campus. So I stayed part of the program. The professor whose class I was taking at the time stayed in communication with me. They set up Skype so that I could participate in class, and that professor actually drove more than 2 hours to see me. So that's the type of caring atmosphere that you're going to walk into when you come to the School of Library and Information Science, and you can't beat that. I really would want to thank the entire faculty. They all take an interest in their students, and they get to know us. They become involved in our academic and professional careers. But in particular, Dr. Gavigan, who is my mentor, who has really guided me through this process and been a source of encouragement when I faltered and when I thought I might not succeed. She knew that I could and believed in me throughout the entire process, and I probably could not have done this without her. So what's next is I actually already have a position. I'm joining the faculty at the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, so I'm going back to my home state. So I'll be an assistant professor in that program. The Library and Information Studies program there is part of the School of Education, so I'll be joining that faculty, and I'll be working with the school library program, in particular preparing future school librarians. So I'm really excited to both be going back to my home state and working in the field that really I think is important if we look at the current climate of our country, that information and information literacy is extremely important.